My name is Master Sergeant Robert M. Rogers, but I go by Mike. I was in the United States Air Force. My rank, I retired as a Master Sergeant, or E7, enlisted 7. I served 24 years. My father was in the Navy for 20 years. I had went to college first to Oklahoma State. I quit my senior year. I went back to the farm because I grew up on a farm, and I was sitting on the back of a tractor one day, and I did not want to be doing that when I was 60 years old, so my next choice was to go join the Air Force. I was stationed in England Air Force Base, Louisiana, Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina, Kunsan Air Base, Korea, Kelly Air Force Base, San Antonio, Texas, and back to Lackland Air Force Base, Texas. I had actually had 2 jobs while I was in the Air Force. I started off as a jet engine mechanic, working A-10s, then moved on to F-15s and F-16s for half of my career. And then the other half of my career, I was a military training instructor out here at Lackland Air Force Base that trained the new recruits that coming into the Air Force. Well, I have a lot of favorite memories because when I was stationed at Kelly Air Force Base, we went TDY, temporary duty assignment, all over the world. So I've been all over the world to many countries. But I guess my favorite memory, or I'm gonna say it's my favorite, but it was my eye-opening memory, is when we were stationed in Korea and we got to go to the DMZ zone where North and South Korea are split and see how close to war we really are. A lot of good friends. The military is like its own little family. I have friends. I have friends that I graduated high school with 40-something years ago that I haven't talked to since the day I graduated. But I have people that I was stationed with in my first duty station, like in Louisiana, that I still communicate with to this day. So it's a family affair. The experience and the leadership that you get with being in the military, whether you're in 4 years or you make it a life career, the experiences that you learn while you're in the military is lifelong. Difficult experiences. Well, there has been a lot of difficult experiences that I have come across, but probably the most difficult is trying to get people to see your views and act the way that you expect them to act in the way the Air Force expects you to act. Advice that I would give anybody joining, whether they join the Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, one of the biggest advice that I give young kids is keep your mouth shut, keep your ears and eyes open, don't volunteer for anything, make them pick you for something, and learn all you can learn, because there are so many valuable lessons that can be taught in the military. Like I said, whether you stay 4 years, 6 years, or you stay 20 years, the life lessons that you learn in the military will stay with you for the rest of your life. And when you step out of the military, whether you stay 4, 6, or 20, you are going to have such an advantage over someone else because you have all this experience and everything. And another advice that I give young kids that go straight into the military is to get your education. You know, people think that you can't get your bachelor's degree while you're in the military. I got my bachelor's degree while I was in the military. I worked 12 hours a day, then I would go to school 4 to 5 hours a night until I graduated and got my bachelor's degree. So it's possible. And plus the Air Force is paying for it, or the government is paying for it. So there's no excuse for you not to get your bachelor's degree while you're in.
My name's Patrick Tejeda. I was in the U.S. Army Reserves and the Texas Army National Guard. I served a total of 10 years. I got out as a captain. I wanted to serve because my grandfather had been in the Army. My dad was in the Army and the U.S. Marines, and so I thought it'd be good for me to follow in their footsteps. I was stationed in a couple of different places. The first one was in Dallas as part of the detachment for the 4th 133rd FA. The second one was in San Marcos in Alpha Battery, 4th 133rd FA. And then my last location was 321st Civil Affairs here in San Antonio. My first job was fire support officer. in the detachment, and so we would determine where we wanted to put the rounds for the field artillery. My second job was fire direction officer, in which we would determine the data and then tell the guns where to point and shoot. My next job was executive officer, which I was in second in command of the unit, in which I would oversee the 6 howitzer guns. And then my last job that I had was assistant public education officer as part of the 321st Civil Affairs. And that one, we would, if something were to happen, we would go assist a country and help them set up their education system again. So one of my favorite memories was actually being in charge of the guns and being able to tell them battery at my command, battery fire, and then hearing the guns go boom as all 6 guns fired at the same time. So from the military, I was able to learn leadership skills and coordinating, and so I've taken all those skills and I bring it back to the job that I'm currently at. And so one of the examples is with coordinating is we do a field trip to the middle schools in which I have to take about 100 students from Stevens to Vale and then Stevens to Pease. And these are all students from different organizations that I've never met, and we get them on the bus, we get their permission slips, we get them there, they recruit, and then we bring them back safely. And so that's one of the deals that I do is, like I said, is the coordinating. One of the difficult experiences that I've had with the military is my hearing. With being in field artillery, there's a lot of loud noises with the tracked vehicles and the howitzer guns, and so in order to hear the commands and everything that's going around, as an executive officer, I'd have to go from gun to gun and go see what they're doing, and then they would say battery stand by, and if I didn't hear it, then you'd hear battery fire, and then the gun goes off and it'd catch me off guard. And even with and without earplugs, it still was very, very loud, and so to this day, I have a hard time hearing, and so that's the hardest thing that I had with the military. Advice I would give someone going in is that you're gonna fail, you're gonna get chewed out, and to take that experience and better yourself. Learn from your mistakes, and like I said, there's absolutely nothing. They don't have anything against you. They're there to make you better, and they're there to train you and to do things a certain way, because ultimately if things aren't done correctly, like I said, people's lives are on the line. And so especially with field artillery, if we don't do something correct, then a round could go out of safe, a round could kill someone, and we don't want that to happen.
My name is Coach Ramirez, United States Air Force.
I was a senior airman, E4.
I served from 2000 to 2004.
Out of high school, as kind of a sense of duty. All my parents, all my family, all my uncles, my grandfather had served in every war since World War II. And I just felt like it was my turn and my duty to go ahead and get it done. I was stationed at Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana, with the 8th Air Force 2nd Civil Engineering Service. I was a firefighter for the B-52s and the A-10s. I was a firefighter. We did structural, airport rescue firefighting, hazmat, and nuclear weapons kind of containment. I mean, nothing like that ever went off, but yeah, that was my job. There were a lot of good memories. I guess the evening, it was pretty late in the evening, probably about 3 a.m. And we had gotten a call on a B-52 bird strike with active. There were active bombs on the plane. It had just come back from Afghanistan. They were doing jumps from from Barksdale to Afghanistan, and it had come back, and it had been an in-flight emergency, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning. It was dense fog, and I pull up. We're on the fire truck, and there's a giant B-52 standing right in front of me, and I did the exterior, I guess, damage inspection. Get to go up there and talk to the pilots, and just see it was incredible memory. One of them is when you're shipped. Like I was shipped off to the desert, and just the feeling of leaving everything that behind, going to a foreign country, seeing a foreign flag. You just know that it's not home. I guess the cultures, everybody coming from different places, it causes tension, between everybody, but everybody has a mission, everybody has a job, and that can be tough. The sense of discipline, I would say, understanding that whatever the job entails, that there's a systematic approach of discipline to get to that end goal, I guess, and that's what carried me through University of Texas, was being, taking those traits that I learned and then applying them to college. I wouldn't have graduated college if I didn't join the Air Force first. Understand that you are going in for the purpose of whatever branch that you're signing up for. It's not a you thing, it's a mission thing. And I think that's the biggest gap that people have when they make the jump to the military, is they're not ready to understand that it's not ever about them anymore, it's about the mission. And that includes a lot of things, a lot of sacrifice that you have to make, so I think that's the biggest thing that I would say to anyone going in.
My name is Victoria Soler. I was Staff Sergeant in the Air Force, Air National Guard. First of all, I think I feel honored to be able to be a woman serving my country. I didn't take that lightly. Tons of women paved the way for me to be able to have that opportunity, so I was honored to be able to continue that. So I felt very prideful in being able to do that. And I was able to learn a lot of different things, not just my career field, which was admin. I got to learn finance, orders, IT. So it really helped me in my job as a teacher in life. So one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Actually, I was always stationed here at Lackland Air Force Base. So even when I was here on active duty orders, I was always at Lackland. So I didn't really get to venture off too much, but it was just as amazing just to be here and meet a lot of different people that weren't from here. So I still got to work with a lot of people from other states, other countries. So that was amazing. I would have to say that my best memory would be serving with my dad. I actually got to serve with him in the same guard unit. So we weren't in the same squadron, but I did cross paths with him quite frequently. So I would have to say him being there and him being a part of my journey and seeing me receive awards, and he got to be a part of all of that. So that was extra special. I also got to be a part of his. So that was really special for me. So that was lots of great memories, being able to do all of that with him. So the hardest thing about being in the military was definitely being in a kind of a male-dominated world. I was probably maybe one of 4 women in my squadron when I first joined. So just working hard to receive the same kind of respect that everybody else did was definitely a challenge, but also very rewarding because I was able to do things that everybody else could do, even all of the males in our squadron. So very rewarding, but challenging. To take it all in and learn as much as you can. Be open to all the opportunities that you're given. Volunteer for everything, jump right in, because it's going to help you in your future. You're going to learn so many great things that are going to help you if you stay in or if you decide to leave. Either way, those things are going to help you in your future. So.